Hello, welcome to this Herald-Standard editorial board meeting. My name is Mark O'Keefe. I'm executive editor for the Herald-Standard. With us today is Tim Mahoney. Tim is a state legislator representing much of Fayette County, at least for now.
Yeah, for now.
The next year that district will be undergoing some changes, which we're not real sure what that's all about, but
I'll
be
be
extended into Somerset County.
Almost to Cumberland, Maryland. That's
Yeah.
how far that district will go.
But for now, you're still representing a large portion of Fayette County. So we're very glad that you could come in and talk to us, and I know you have a couple things that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, and I appreciate the time because I think what I want to talk about is very important, just to all of Fayette County, just not my district. But before I get started with the issues I came in to talk about, I just took a tour of the Fayette County prison, and I recommend anybody that doesn't think that we need to build a new prison to try to take a tour. I think the newspaper needs to, and I think the editors especially, need to go over and take a tour, and I'll go with you because I knew it was bad, but I mean, I wouldn't even call it a prison or a county jail. I'd call it more something in the dark ages. I mean, it's horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how those guards work over there in that condition. And if your son or daughter would go in there at the 18 and on a little something misdemeanor or whatever summary thing for a weekend, they're going to come out double bad because there's just it doesn't work. It's not working, and it's not going to work until the county commissioners, all three of them, not just two of them, but all three of them, take a real tour and see what's really going on over there at that prison. And we need to get on the same page and move this county forward, especially in that instance. Because Mark, I invite you and Terry and whoever else. I will take you over there personally, and then you can make your own. Have you been in there?
No.
Terry, you ever been in there?
I think
Oh, it's been years.
Yeah.
I was my father's the chief of police. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he used to take me in because he was good friends with the warden. I just cannot. I mean, it's just I can't explain it how bad it is.
Yeah,
But
well,
I just want to put that. I just want to.
well, it is
aware of
124 years old.
Oh,
and
it's terrible. I
uh,
mean, you have a kitchen that's half
wait.
as big as size as this room, serving 300 meals a day, 3 times a day, and it's. You'll just have to take a tour. I hope you take me up on that because I'll be more than glad to personally go with you because I need people to understand what that problem is over there. Okay, I got that off my chest. All right, the main reason I'm here for is you're well aware of that I've been trying to get records from the state police about the complement out here at Fayette County and across the state. And I've been getting double, two-stepped, and by the end of next week, they said that they're going to respond, but I don't think they're going to give me what I want as far as the complement for the Uniontown Barracks. With that said, I understand politics is politics, and they're trying to save money here and there, but I don't think we need to save money in Fayette County or in the state of Pennsylvania when it comes to public safety. I mean, we're getting double whammy in Fayette County. I mean, our crime rate's going up, our drug use is out of control. When you have people going in to rob, businesses like Potter's and shooting a gun up through the roof. Potter's been there for 100 years. I mean, things are turning bad. When I first went to Harrisburg, you could walk down the streets in Harrisburg. In the last 3 years, it just overnight, in those 3 years, it turned. I mean, you can't go off the main streets, and that's what's going to happen here in Fayette County. And all I want to do is try to get the complement of state police that we need in our barracks, and I know that we don't have the complement that they have addressed to us. I think we're short, in my opinion, I think we're short of probably around 20. But I think we need to grow that complement of state police, or look into a different avenue and maybe look at a county police department, or try to get these townships to go together and do some things. I wrote a letter to the commissioners and asking them to start to address the public safety of Fayette County. And the reason I did that is because they put a group together for the county prison as far as trying to find answers. And I think that's what they should do, trying to address public safety in Fayette County. And I think it's working good with the county, with the county prison group. So I'm hoping that they would consider this and try to get people across the county looking at ways to address the problems that we have. Not just have these meetings and nothing gets done, but really try to implement something that's going to work to put more policemen on the street. And I think that's very important. I mean, I walk every night, my nephew, Chris Parker, and I walked your neighborhood the other night, 11:30 at night. I was walking all through that neighborhood. And it's just what you see at night, where these cars are coming up and down the streets, up and down the alleys, and the plates are from Florida and New York, Ohio and Georgia. I mean, they're not there sightseeing at night. They're looking for activity. And I've walked almost every area in the city of Uniontown, South Union, and a little bit of North Union so far, but it just opens your eyes up to see what's really going on, because you don't know what's going on until you're out there, looking at it. I mean, trying to find out what's going on. And I just believe that we need to start to address that with the county being involved. And let me see what else I wanted to tell you. I wanted to give you the compliment of the state police from 2000, since Ed Rendell left office in 2010, we had a vacancy of 245 troopers statewide. At the end of 13, they're projecting there'll be 465, but that number is really 500 and some that I got a corrective number the other day. That's not counting the people, the troopers that are eligible to retire this summer, and now I have to do another right to know law or request to try to find out how many state troopers put their papers in for retirement, because that 400 or 500 number that we have vacant now possibly can grow to about 800 to 900 this time next year. And then where are we going to be is, with the complement in the state. And with all the trouble going on in the state and the county, last night there was a shooting. A police officer shot a lady in Oil City, I think. She came out with a knife trying to, that's a dangerous job. We need people on the street, policemen on the street, and no matter how we do it or how we're going to fund it, we have to have some type of a plan. So that's basically what I wanted to try to come in here and explain today.
Well, in terms of the state police, now they've said that, the public safety, and that that's why they don't want to give you that number. But as you said, that doesn't really hold water, and you're not asking for specific times or how many cars or whatever. You just want to have a number so that you have an idea of what's going on.
Well, it was around budget time when I really wanted this, where I could really start to try to push it, through the appropriations, that we need more money for troopers. Yes, they say that, we're going to put 1 or 2 classes through with 300 a class, but people don't understand, when you put 300 in a class, only 80 to 90 of them graduate to be state policemen. So you're really, you're singing, you're singing one thing and the other thing, on the other hand, you're not doing it. And we just need to address it. We need to really try to bring that complement up to 4,689. But right now, we're not even close to that number.
Well, so what do you think? I mean, obviously, you don't really think that they at least have a valid point.
They don't
Do you-
have. They don't have a valid.
So what do you think is behind it? What's the real reason behind it?
Politics. They don't know, they don't want to show how much money they did not spend on the state police. And it's, if you can't show your complement where they're stationed at, I'm not asking to show when they're coming out and what time and where they live. I just want to know how many we have and how many we're supposed to have, and how many we really need. I don't think we have what we need here to begin with.
So you think this is more something goes up to Corbett then, that he wants to maybe try and say he's providing for public safety, but
No,
in reality he
not.
really isn't.
He isn't. And I've had, retired colonels and majors. I've had retired troopers. I've had current, higher echelon in the state police, telling me this needed to be done years ago. And matter of fact, I was going a little fast coming home this week, and I got pulled over by a state policeman, and I was going like maybe 8 miles over the speed limit. And I introduced myself, and he said, "You're the one that's trying to help us get more state policemen." He said, "Have a nice day. I'll just give you a little warning." So it's the state police, I think, from the administration, taking the administration out of it, from the leadership down, know what I think they understand what I'm trying to do to help them put more people, more troopers, and more investigators on the street, because they know. I mean, you just had how many the last week or the week before? You had 2 in Uniontown that were, had involved in the shooting. Now they're on desk duty. They had 1 in Indiana County, or 2 in Indiana County. Same thing. I mean, that's a dangerous job, but we need to have more response time and more on the street.
Well, what about, I mean, it seems to me that this whole issue, that there needs to be more discussion about it. In the past, there have been talk about, well, the municipalities of a certain size, that they should have to pay for state police. You have a situation right here in Fayette County where North and South Union, they do not have their own state police, or they do not have their own police force. They rely totally on state police. Uniontown has its own police force, and a number of other townships. I believe Redstone Township has their part-time and stuff. Masontown. But it almost seems to me that that it's that's maybe not the right way to think about this, but we do pay an awful lot to train state police. And in some of these areas, state police are called out for very maybe minor fender benders or minor vandalism or whatever. What about if there was something where state police maybe they would only handle certain things, or something where, so that municipalities, that it would be up to them to handle maybe the minor things, where then state police would be available for more major crimes.
Yeah, and I think that's the way the state police was set up when it was set up. They were supposed to take care of all the interstates and all the main PennDOT roads through the state.
Right.
And and I went down this road before of trying to regionalize, police. And there's some townships that just don't want to hear it. They send surveys out to their constituents. Well, we got to raise taxes to do this and do that. But there's bills in Harrisburg now that, they're going to get close. They're going to get close to passing that they're going to start charging per head per county. Per township that don't have their own police departments. And that's what we need to address with the commissioners, and hopefully we can put a group together to come up with some ideas to help these townships that don't have direct access to police. Matter of fact, I'm in contact with the Southwest Regional Police Department, Chief John Harshman. I've already set up meetings for him because he wants to expand his police department more into Fayette County. And we're going to be meeting with Wharton Township, German Township, and Georges Township on August 5th, I think. And he's going to explain that he will be able to cover their areas by adding more people to his force at a cost. I mean, nothing's free. And just to see where it goes. And I mean, they might, it all depends. It doesn't have to be full time. It could just be, 8 hours a day. It could be 5 days a week or whatever. But the township supervisors know when they need police on and what days and what times. And I think it's an avenue that's worth looking at, and hopefully that will work out for some of those townships.
Mm-hmm. Well, as we've said, you alluded to, and let's face it, I mean, South Union was the one where they did do a survey, and then they, kind of, I don't want to say threaten people, but they did say that taxes would go up, and there's a good chance that taxes would probably go up somewhat. I mean, how much or whatever, I don't know how much study actually or the numbers, whatever, but it's like you say, you don't get nothing for nothing, and I think a lot of people in South Union are becoming more concerned, more worried about the crime, because state police, they're stretched very thin in their resources and stuff, and I think you have to wonder, well, what types of crimes should state police really be handling? We are paying these guys a lot of money. They get good benefits, they get good pension, and they should, because it's a very difficult job, and we want people who are well trained. But how much can maybe townships and local municipalities do some policing on their own, and then that would even help the state police to do even a better job. So how do you see this happening? Obviously, there's a lot of opposition in South Union to this. The supervisors in particular were never very fond of this. So how do you see this happening with the county? Do you think that somehow this would be spread out more so it would be more palatable, or
I think that if you could put a work group together and include people from all the townships involved, may it be the supervisors, or may it just be a common Joe or a retired policeman, somebody that has some type of experience in policing and financing. And we need to serve the people for public safety. I mean, face it, drugs in Fayette County is rampant. I mean, the quality of life in Fayette County is going to go down, down, down if we do not start stepping up to the plate and doing what we have to do to try to curb the situation. And it's like I said in the beginning, people are getting bolder and bolder, when it comes, when they get hooked on some of this synthetic drugs, they're willing to do anything to get money or anything, or a microwave, anything they can steal to feed their habit. And I know that we need to address, the drug and alcohol problem through the mental health situation. But I believe in my heart, I think that we need to address the police situation first, and then try to help with the mental health situation, because it's not going to get any better. I can just see it getting worse.
So I guess your hope would be that somehow that there would be some solution found where maybe so like everybody paid a little bit or something, but maybe it wouldn't be too taxing for any particular municipality or township. Or
that's what I'm hoping, that somebody out of that group, they can come up with some type of recommendations that would serve at least 75 to 80% of the people that are living in the county, to try to start something new or change something that we have. And I mean, change is hard. I mean, I've tried change, and people ask me why I keep trying. I mean, because I want to live here. I want my kids to live here, and I want a safe place to live. I don't want to have to, move where there's no people, where you don't have to worry about crime. I mean, I love Fayette County, and I want to stay in Fayette County, and I'm sure you do. And Terry, I don't think anyone has any plans of moving, but we can't live in the fear of what's going to happen or what can happen if we don't try to correct the problem.
Tim, I believe at one time the state offered some incentives, at least for like study grants.
Yeah.
Is that still a
No.
possibility?
Now I tried that. We had that money in the Rendell administration, and I even offered that when I tried to do the regionalization of police force. And some of these, no, so yeah, the money's gone. It's the program's gone, but the townships that didn't really want to take part of it, they didn't want to hear it. So I know it's going to be a fight, but I think if we can get a study group, as I say, and just try to put some recommendations out to the people in Fayette County, just not one township or the other, but try to put it out to all Fayette County.
Correct me if I don't want to have a misstatement here, but I know you're trying to get the figures for
The state
station
precinct.
in Uniontown with the request. But is it your belief that they're saying that they're going to add some, but it's adding to a lower level, so you're just kind of bringing it up to where it was? Or?
Right now, I'd just like to bring it up to where it was at. But I don't think that they can do that in the next 2-3 years, because I don't think they're going to have enough hirees to overcome the retirements. And I think the vacancy number's just going to grow every year, like it has in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost doubled every year. And it's a serious problem in the state.
Mm-hmm. Well, and at some point, with the state police, with the cost and everything, I mean, you do have to wonder, well, can they do everything for all these municipalities?
No.
And particularly when you do have a lot of other places where you do have a lot of places do have municipal police.
I think if you tripled your complement out here, I'd still think that you need local police involvement.
Right.
Regionalized.
And even tripling is probably not very realistic. You know,
and that's not going to happen.
Right.
That's not going to happen. That's
right.
I mean, if we don't change ourselves here in Fayette County the way we do it, I mean, it's just like the school consolidation thing I was trying to do, and then finally we did the survey about a month ago, and it came back. People are willing to start changing things as long as they keep their identities as schools.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just another issue about you have to start working together. I mean, the editorial you did on the education, they always say you blame it on poverty.
Yeah.
But when you read the Beaver School District,
Yeah.
I mean, that's 100%.
Yeah, Beaver Falls. Yeah.
It's we've got to quit putting a boogeyman and blaming everything on a boogeyman in the corner. We need to start standing up and trying to change Fayette County.
Well, what about I mean, you do have, because for years, Fayette County, they didn't have any money and whatever, but now Fayette County is starting to get some money particularly from the Marcellus Shale, where each of these townships, I'm not sure if every township in the county is getting something, but almost every township in the county is getting some money from the Marcellus Shale.
And that's what we really need to start taking a look at. I think the county commissioners really need to step back and look at how they're operating the county, and I think the township supervisors need to take a little step back and look, well, how can we provide more public safety for our constituents? And some of these townships are tough. They think there's a wall between their townships.
Right.
You can't cross that line.
Right. Yeah,
But,
some
But when I called Wharton Township and German Township and Georges Township to meet with Chief Harshman on the 5th about talking about, they're wide open to it. Especially Wharton. I mean, they'll have the money from the gambling up
Right,
there.
but
And
they might be able
definitely-
to can do something, yeah.
And I'm sure that the Southwest Regional Police Department probably can put some type of a force up there on how many days they need them. Probably more economical than they can do it themselves. So, and Chief Harshman, I mean, I'd like to bring him in here and have a meeting with the editorial board and talk about how he can do it and how he can do it cheaper. So we can get that word out, and that's just another avenue, and hopefully I'm gonna have him, talk to this group if the commissioners will put this group together to investigate on how we need to go, which route we need to go.
And there has been talk in the past about possibly Uniontown, North Union, and South Union doing something. Do you ever see that, or you just think that there's too much
I told you
territorial?
that wall is that high?
Yeah.
That wall's that high. I mean, it's
just pretty much.
I can see South Union and North Union doing something on their own between them, but
Not so much with Uniontown. Yeah.
no, everyone thinks the crime's in Uniontown,
Right.
but they got to understand, it's
everywhere.
like a phoenix. It's going everywhere. You have people. They're going to look. What's the first thing they look at when they want to move into the area? It's education and public safety. And education, when where the ranking is there, and just take a look at the crime in Fayette County, the statistics. I think we're the second highest per capita crime other than Philadelphia. So, I said my piece. I hope you all take me up on taking a tour of the jail, and I'll keep you involved with the letter that I sent to the commissioners and let you know how that's developing, and then I'll let you know how the state police
See what happens there.
the scuffles, because I got to do another right to know request about the retirements, because I would really truly want to know how many are retiring this year, just to see how much this number is really going to grow.
Right. Yeah, because for a couple of years there, they didn't even have any classes.
Yeah.
So you really were kind of putting yourself behind the eight ball there.
I think it was last year they told us, well, we're putting one class of 300 through, but I think 80 graduated out of 300, and that's
that's a tough thing to go through. It's not
and you can't.
It's not easy.
No, it's not easy.
Um,
And the police and the Pennsylvania State Police are ranked in the 1 or 2 in the whole country as far as capabilities.
Right.
And that's where we need to be.
Right.
But we need to have them up to complement,
Right.
and along with letting the townships and Fayette County help, like you said, on the
More the
smaller
smaller things.
incidents.
But these things do matter. Vandalism and stuff. I mean, that's all. But you can't expect state police to be like they can't be everywhere.
No. I just believe that you put more policemen in cars and put more policemen on the street. I think it's going to help curb the crime.
A few years ago, the newspaper hosted a series of public forums, and one of the topics was regional police, and Chief
Harshman was
did
there.
speak.
Right.
And since that time, Southwest Regional Police has picked up some communities in Greene County,
Yeah.
and maybe around Finleyville and Washington County, that area, but none in Fayette County.
Well, I almost can almost guarantee he's going to start picking up some in Fayette County, because I do believe some of these townships are starting to open up to their constituents are calling
Saying
them
the
too,
same thing. Right.
and it needs to be done. I mean, so it's just another fight you got to fight, and I guess I'm willing to stand up and fight this one again.
Yeah, that's it. Harshman, I remember him saying about, like, people are going after police these days. So, like, what makes you think that they're not going to go after somebody who's, not armed or whatever? That's what he was saying, that you're seeing more criminals becoming more and more brazen, and it makes it just that much tougher. So anybody who's thinking, well, it's not going to affect me, or, they're so maybe afraid of raising taxes that, they think that's going to.
But in the end, it might not even be a tax raise. It could be possibly something, split up on something else.
Well, in the county too, the county is going to be getting some money from the gaming, from the casino, and there's all a little bit of uncertainty to it, but we know that the Marcellus Shell is going to be here for a while, and we're going to get something from that casino. We'll probably have a better idea, I guess, after the first year, but they're saying at least probably $1 million, maybe $1.5 million, and maybe even more if it turns out to be as good as maybe some people think it can be.
And then, you have the hotel tax. If we can, dedicate so much, or become our own LAB or whatever that is, we can dedicate some to the police force. That's public safety, that's tourism.
Right.
We want people to feel safer when they're in Fayette County.
Right.
And that's, there's ideas out there. That's why I think what they did with that prison, that county jail, you had a really a professional group looking at it, and I think that's what we need to do with, the public safety as far as policing on our end. And then I'll fight the fight to try to keep enough state policemen out that barracks that should be there, not 20 short or 15 short or whatever they are out there.
Right. Well, just a minute while we got you with the school consolidation. You did mention that there was a survey taken that did indicate that there is at least some support, but obviously there's still no support, or very limited support for even considering anything among the school board people. The superintendents, none of them seem to be.
I met with the superintendents, and they gave me some questions that they wanted to put on the survey, and they wanted to look and see what people felt about a 4-day work week, which that's working in some states. That's 20% of your net operating. You close down transportation,
utilities,
costs, and all that. And I believe that number, I don't know what it came out, but it wasn't that bad. But if people knew what the savings was, I think that number would have been, higher. But until we get the curriculum, and that's what was the highest on the survey, a uniform curriculum across the county. People would like to see that. Until we get that, I think that's the first step, stepping point. And it's the article that you wrote. That should have woke up people. If it didn't wake up school board members, it should be waking up their constituents to wake them up. Because there's no reason. They can't blame it on the boogeyman in the corner anymore, that because of poverty and all that. They can't. So I'll still fight that issue, and hopefully I'm going to start meeting with the superintendents again. They're supposed to keep meeting and trying to work together, and maybe trying to do more consortium. But that's just another issue. But I think this issue here is what we can change quicker than what the schools are.
Yeah, just for anybody that didn't read my columns, basically I was talking that the Pittsburgh Business Times does rank the school districts in Western Pennsylvania, and they look at basically it's the test scores is what they really look at, but it's over like a 2 or 3 year period, and our school districts are clearly not performing very well according to these rankings, and it has an effect on we need new people. Our population is declining. We need to be able to attract new people, and the idea was with the Fayette Expressway that we would be able to get people to move here because land is cheaper here, and it's more of a country type atmosphere that should be appealing to some people. But if you don't have the test scores and stuff, because that's what people look at when they move into areas, and combine them with the crime, it's yeah.
And you can't blame it on you can't blame it on teachers, and you can't blame it on the kids.
No.
You have to give them the
Right.
materials, and you have to keep those class sizes to where they can teach.
Right.
And we're not doing that now. I mean, everything is about the dollar, but if we can, start saving money jointly where we can put it right back into the education. I mean, there's schools that need to be closed. Everyone knows that. I mean, you have 100 and some kids in schools. I mean, those schools are costing you. When there's a grade school in a different district right down the street that you can use, it's,
Right.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
But it's the school boards are tough.
Yeah.
They're tough.
Yeah, we've had them in, we've talked to them, and we've never really said that this is the total solution, but certainly it's at least worth something considering.
You have to start to change. You have to
Considering
start.
something, and so many of them just absolutely refuse to even consider it or think about it.
You're never going to change if you don't start.
Yeah,
And it's just simple as that. And they have to start to realize that. It's, they just have to start to realize that if you want to have better education in Fayette County, you have to change. It's just like if you want to have public safety in Fayette County, a better quality of public safety, you have to change.
okay, well, I guess that pretty much wraps that up there.
All right.
You have any other questions?
No.
You want me
Okay.
to set this thing up for the jail? I want to take you over there.
We'll,
'cause
we'll,
I
we'll
definitely want to take.
definitely something to, I know we've talked about it in the past, and
But I'll be glad
Probably,
to take you.
yeah.
I'll be glad
Yeah.
to go with you all.
Yeah.
I just can't see how the one commissioner says that we don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
So those people deserve the. That's not right. I
Yeah.
mean, that's not even humane. My animals live better than what them people are living in that jail. So that's it.
Okay, well, hey, thanks a lot, Tim.
right,
Appreciate you
thank you.
coming in. Want to thank you for watching out there. Herald-Standard editorial board meeting with State Representative Tim Mahoney, and we'll see you later.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.